In this video, we will talk about comparing and ordering integers. Okay, so before we can actually compare, what's the term you think about for comparing? Yes, the greater than, the less than. So those are called inequality symbols. So, example, this one is, remember, the greater than. This is a very quick refresher. Greater than. And this one was less than. So right now, if you have to compare integers, let's talk about -7, line 8. Now, this one is easy because it's a negative versus a positive. So what inequality symbol should we use? This one or this one? We are going to use the less than. It says a less than, right? Because positives are always greater than negatives. This is very important. So that way it was less than. Right, all positive numbers are greater than negative numbers. Number 2, let's do -10 and -3. Now this one may be a little complicated, but imagine that number line. So when there's a number line, for instance, for positive numbers, the greater the number, right, it's going to be right high, right? The farther the number is from 0 and positive. So this is a number line, right? For positive numbers, really what it is, the greater you are from, right, the farther you are from 0, the greater you are, right? For negatives, if I keep on right here, if I'm a -10 over here, and I'm a +10, this one, the positives, you want to be farther away from 0. If you're more farther, you're more greater. But if I keep on, for negatives, if I'm really, really far, I'm really far away from 0. Meaning, right, so the more left, you always think the more left you're going to be less than, right? So, right? So you want to be closer to 0. Really, you want to be, for negatives, be closer to 0, because then you can actually be in like a pause, right? So what number is more closer to 0? Remember, in positives, you want to be the farther away you are from 0, you are greater, right? And for negatives, the farther away from 0, you're less, right? You're less than, right? So hopefully that wasn't too complicated. So which number is closer to 0? If I put them in a number line, this is a 0, this is a -3, and then right over here probably -10. Which number is more closer to 0? This one's only 3 units, here, pretend that's 3 units away from 0. This is like 10 units away from 0. So, -10 is less than -3. With negative numbers, so this is a note, with negative numbers, the closer you are to 0, the larger the number is, or the value, right? The number is. This is the main takeaway again. Now, last one. Let's do the similar thing. Negative 53 and negative 54. Which inequality would go here? This one or this one? How about you pause this video and try to solve it, or to think about it, and then we'll go over. So I'm assuming you already have an answer. Again, the same thing. The closer you are to 0, the larger you are. Which one is more closer to 0? This one, right? This one's more closer to 0. So this one's greater than negative 54. Positives, you want to be, if the farther you're from 0, you're greater, right? The larger you're going to be. And for negatives, it's really the opposite. So let's do ordering. So now we'll talk about ordering the integers. So ordering the integers from least to greatest. From least to greatest. Okay. So if I'll give a list. 8, negative 4, 11, 0, negative 5, negative 1. First off, these are not ordered. So if you would want to, you could order them first. This way it's easier to input them on a number line. So you probably may want to just start off right. You know, negatives, then there's a 0. So 0, the first thing you can right away do when you're given a number line is 0. Again, it doesn't have to be always on the center of the page. But you know right away, 0 should be in the middle, right? Now let's talk about negatives first. So a negative 4 and a negative 5. What number, the number that's going to be less, like the farther you're away from 0, the lesser your values, I guess. Like the closer you are, you're going to be the larger. So negative 4 is closer to 0, which will be about like here, I guess. And then here is going to be negative 5. So that's why number lines are really beneficial, because they really help you to see, like, okay, which number is greater. So when you have to, like, compare numbers, right, integers, it's very easy if you have a negative, like a number line, because then you can easily see, okay, what number is greater than, right? It's more closer to 0, right? Negative 4 is more close to 0, so it's greater than negative 5. Now, we also had negative 1. So negative 1 would be right over here. So that's negative 1. And then this would be about 8. I just put about 8. You could kind of estimate it around, and 11. So negative 1 is actually closer to 0 than any of these two numbers, because it's way more close to 0. So it's going to become a positive number before negative 4, negative 5. That's the easiest way to think about it. So that's that. So we've done ordering and comparing integers. This video, hopefully this video helped you better understand, again, how integers work. And really the main point was comparing those negatives by negatives, because it can get a little tricky. But number lines would always help you to visualize, and especially if you're